The purpose of this video is to show how to replace the now obsolete 73 series Bray actuator with a replacement Electra actuator. We will start with the Bray 73 series 300-pound torque actuator mounted on a 1-inch Flowtech ball valve. The tools needed to remove the Bray actuator and install the Electra actuator will be a 7/16 wrench and a 1/2-inch wrench. The tools needed for the actuator electrical disconnect and reconnect will be a 4mm Allen wrench, a 3mm Allen wrench, and a small flathead screwdriver. This portion of the video is focused on the actuator swap. Electrical differences will be discussed at the end of this video. Let's begin. Remember, before we start, you must make sure the service power is off and the system is properly isolated. The conversion kit for this application consists of a modified stainless steel shaft extension and 4 actuator to mounting bracket bolts. First, we will loosen the 4 bolts in the top of the actuator mounting bracket using the 7/16 wrench. Usually, after a few turns loosening them, you should be able to take them out by hand. After the bolts are out, separate the actuator from the mounting bracket and remove the stainless steel shaft extension. Now we are ready to install the replacement Electra actuator. We will start by putting the new stainless steel shaft extension required to adapt the existing assembly with the new Electra actuator conversion. Now we will place the actuator onto the shaft extension, lining the bolt pattern from the actuator with the bolt pattern of the mounting bracket. Put the 4 new actuator to mounting bracket bolts in hand tight. Then take your 1/2-inch wrench and tighten them. Reconnect the electric service following the Electra actuator manufacturer schematic located on the inside of the actuator cover. Now your conversion is complete. Now let's go over the conversion electrical differences. When you disconnect the Bray actuator, you are going to find that the terminal connections for open, close, neutral, and heater are completely different than the Electra actuator terminal connections. On the Bray actuator, the terminals are as followed. Open, which on most systems should be blue, will be wired to terminal 2. Close, which on most systems should be red, will be wired at terminal 3. Neutral, which on every system should be white, will be wired at terminal 1. And a heater, if applicable, on most systems should be black or brown, will be wired at terminal 4. Ground will be found on the actuator gear cover. To be sure that the actuator you are working on are specific to these connections, double-check the schematic located inside the actuator cover. When rewiring your electric control to the Electra actuator, the terminals are as followed. Open, which on most systems should be blue, will be wired to terminal 8. Close, which on most systems should be red, will be wired at terminal 7. Neutral, which on every system should be white, will be wired at terminal 12. And a heater, if applicable, on most systems should be black or brown, will be wired at terminal 9. Ground will be found on the actuator gear cover.